Cetuximab and panitumumab are monoclonal antibodies against EGFR, or epidermal growth factor receptor. This billboard we're driving by has all the key facts about cetuximab and panitumumab you need to know for test day. This billboard is advertising a fast food chain's new sandwich. The ad shows a sandwich being held next to the face of a beautiful lady. Classic marketing strategy. Nothing like a little seduction to help sell a product. Use seduction to help you remember the drug cetuximab, because cetuximab sounds kind of like seduction, doesn't it? The suffix mab is simply an abbreviation of monoclonal antibody, which means all antibodies are identical and bind to just one substance, in this case, EGFR. Next, let's take a closer look at this restaurant's new sandwich, a panini to be specific. Just look at those attractive grill marks. They've named it the Aphrodisiac. Makes sense, a seductive advertisement for a seductively named panini. By the way, panini is our symbol for panitumumab, the other monoclonal antibody that binds EGFR. We'll talk about EGFR next. For now, just remember our seductive panini for the drugs cetuximab and panitumumab. Let's check out just what ingredients make this panini an aphrodisiac. The first is the exotic egg fruit. You can use egg fruit to help you remember EGFR, because you can't spell egg fruit without EGFR. Cetuximab and panitumumab are antibodies against EGFR, which is a tyrosine kinase receptor overexpressed in some cancers. You don't need to know this, but some colon, head, and neck cancer subtypes express a lot of EGFR, which is critical for the growth of the cancer cells. Cetuximab and panitumumab are antibodies that bind to and block these receptors, thereby inhibiting the growth of cancer. Moving on, the second special ingredient in this panini is liver. Might not sound as sexy as egg fruit, but liver's got loads of vitamins and minerals, right? This liver is here to help you remember that hepatotoxicity may be seen with cetuximab and panitumumab. This manifests clinically as elevated LFTs or liver function tests. Speaking of adverse effects, it looks like the model has a bad rash from the scarf she had to wear for this ad. Guess they didn't budget for post-processing Photoshop to edit it out. This rash will help you remember patients taking cetuximab and panitumumab may develop rashes as a side effect. Generally speaking, it's a good heuristic to remember that most antibody agents or biologic drugs can cause rashes. The mechanism here is complex, but I like to think of the antibody depositing in the skin and inducing an immune response as being the cause. Finally, take a look at that rich, dark sauce dripping from the panini. By the way, this dripping sauce really reminds me of diarrhea, another side effect of cetuximab and panitumumab. Well, just because it's labeled an aphrodisiac doesn't mean it can't be a laxative also. Can't slow down too much on the highway, so let's recap and continue on our way. Cetuximab and panitumumab are monoclonal antibodies against EGFR, used to treat late-stage colon cancers as well as head and neck cancers. Side effects to note include hepatotoxicity with elevated LFTs, rash, and diarrhea. That's it. I think I might need to stay away from seductive paninis for a while. I'll see you next time.